You're listening to the Outer Banks This Week podcast, a place for people to hear what's going on up and down the beach and to get the truth about what really goes on around the Outer Banks. So, are you ready? Here we go.
All right. Thank you so much, Wes. Outer Banks This Week podcast, episode 105. How about that new music to the background you hear right now? Like it? It's okay? Maybe? I don't know. I'm experimenting with some new intro and outro music to the podcast, and I haven't decided if I like this one yet or not. If you have an idea for like a style of music you would like to hear to the background of the podcast when I intro and outro it, let me know. Justin at OuterBanksThisWeek.com, and I'll play around with it if I can find that style of music in my database. Okay, this one was just something I was like, it's like a country twangish, like I don't know. I was digging it when I first heard it. Now I'm not sure. So, well, we may experiment. It might be something different next week. So stay tuned for that. But if you have a style that you think I need to use to the background, let me know. Justin at OuterBanksThisWeek.com, and I'll experiment with it. But hey, episode 105, all brought to you by Kelly's Automotive in Manio. It's funny. Whenever I'm going into Manio, my wife, I have to slow down when we're going by Kelly's lot. She's like, slow down. And I go a little slower, and she just kind of glances over and kind of lays her eyes on something she may like. And a lot of times she'll do that. She'll be like, ask Kelly what's up with this Durango or whatever. So I'll text Kelly or I'll call Kelly, hey, man, what's going on with this Durango? And he's like, man, I just sold that one yesterday. Or he'll send me back a picture of somebody with the keys in their hand holding it up, and he's got his arm around him just grinning like a daggum polecat. And anyway, it's like he just sold it. It's like, daggone, I'm a day late and $1 short. That's the story of my life. But hey, look, you could be on time with all the dollars at Kelly's Automotive. You're in the department. You're in the department. If you are in the market, here, I'll get it out, for a vehicle, Kelly at Kelly's Automotive, Dakota, the whole crowd over there would love to assist you. Online at kellysobxauto.com. It's all powered by Outer Banks Pest Control. If you have any varmints or vermin or rodents or creepy crawlies that are plaguing your home, your office, your place of business, wherever, Miss Jessie would love to send one of her texts to assist you. Now, Kelly and Jessie, I know they sound like a couple of characters off of the TV show Saved by the Bell, but they're actually like a husband-wife duo here, and they're like the Manio business power couple. Think the world of both of them. Very wonderful folks, kind people, beautiful people. And they would love to assist you in both, either if you're looking for a vehicle or if you need to get rid of some pests. So if you're looking for something or you're looking to get rid of something, they can assist you. OuterBanks-PestControl.com is where you can find Outer Banks Pest Control online. All right. Hey, we're into the month of March. Now, the month of March can be interesting around here on the Outer Banks. If you've been here during the month of March, you know what I'm talking about. If you've lived here for a long time, you definitely know what I'm talking about. And if you were born and raised here and you're from way back in the, 40s, 50s era, when you were born and raised here in the Outer Banks, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You go back in time to like the Ash Wednesday storm of 62. Now, I'm not sure if that was in February or March. I'm thinking it was in March, because Ash Wednesday a lot of times is in March, depending on where Easter falls on the calendar year. But regardless, I've been around here for a lot of marches. Lots of marches I've spent on the Outer Banks, okay, since 1984. A majority of my marches have been spent here on the Outer Banks. But to make a long story short, weather can be interesting. One minute it's sunshine and beautiful, and I mean, you would think spring is right around the corner, and the next day the temperature falls out and it's blowing and windy and rainy and stormy and all sorts of stuff like that. So, I mean, you got to prepare and expect the unexpected in the month of March when it comes to weather. Right now, I'm looking out my window and the sun is shining. It's a gorgeous day. But from what I understand, today being Tuesday, what is today? The 4th day of March that I'm recording this podcast. But from what I understand, the 5th day of March is going to be very unpleasant here. Okay, so again, this is just that time of the year and expected through the month of March. Just in case you're planning your trip down for this month, you want to try to beat some of the summertime crowds and maybe hit some of the restaurants that are going to be opening up here in the next few weeks. Go ahead and plan accordingly for the weather. Bring a raincoat, bring a heavy coat, and bring your suntan lotion and bring your swimsuit. You're going to want to pack for all sides of the spectrum there, y'all. Just saying, because that's just how it is here in March on the Outer Banks. Hey, I had a beautiful weekend this past weekend. I don't know about you. The weather was super nice on Saturday here in Mania specifically. I went to the Mania High School baseball field. They had a couple of games that day. Mania High School, they hosted, was it American? What's the name of that team? I think they're from outside of Clayton, North Carolina, which is just around like south of Raleigh, I believe. I'm not familiar with the geographical locations in the Tri-Cities, but I do know that they came from a distance to play. And then, of course, Hatteras came up, and they all played in Mania, and Mania played a couple of games. Each team had an opportunity to play. It's just a beautiful day at the ballpark. And I will tell you, that was exciting, and I enjoyed it. But the most exciting part of that day for me was, and y'all know I'm a huge WWE fan. Y'all know this. Elimination Chamber was on Saturday night, and we're on the road to WrestleMania, and there was a major heel turn that I didn't see coming. Some people were like, oh, no, you didn't see that coming, but John Cena turned into a bad guy. I know none of you probably care, but it blew my mind. I was like, what the? John Cena, a bad guy? It's crazy, man. Crazy stuff going on in the world of WWE. And I'm hook, line, and sinker on it. I haven't finished watching Monday Night Raw yet, but I've heard some interesting things happen on Monday Night Raw, so got to watch that. But hey, look, that was just, I got to mention the John Cena heel turn. That was crazy. I mean, my boss man and I here, Phil, we were talking about it. He's like, dude, Cena turned heel. I was like, I know. And he's like, well, you didn't see that coming? I'm like, no. So now I kind of feel like an idiot, but I don't like to know what's going to happen before it happens. You know, like I like the excitement and the build up, I guess you could call it. I don't know. Anyway, I get people to laugh at me for watching WWE, but it's my escape from reality. I'm going to tell you right now, do not call me after 8 o'clock on a Monday night or on a Friday night, because I'm probably not going to pick up the phone because I'm watching WWE. Anyway, went to church with Captain Marty on Sunday in Englehart, North Carolina, which is in Hyde County. About an hour-ish or so away from here. And it was a great service. Pastor Gerald Craddock did a great job. He talked about us not being sleepy Christians, which tends to happen from time to time. So I appreciate that. We went to Martell's. My gosh, if you get a chance to go to Martell's in Englehart for lunch, that country cooking, son, ain't nothing like it. I'm telling you right now. So Martell's, that's a shout-out right there to Martell's in Englehart. Great country cooking, fantastic food, nice folks. I mean, it's just everything you expect in that Southern hospitality. It's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right, coming up in this episode of the podcast, I've got MJ Williams from Stripers coming in. She's going to be joining me on the show. We're going to talk about the chili cook-off. We're going to talk about some things going on at Stripers this year. And I believe she has a couple of Stripers brand products that she's going to be bringing as well. So that's going to be really exciting. Can't wait to see what that's all about. Trying to think about news. And again, I'm not a news podcast, okay? You want news? Hook up with my man, Sam Walker at samwalkerobxnews.com. Become an insider. Subscribe, like for all the Outer Banks news. He'll get you squared away. I mean, if you got questions, Sam Walker is the answer. He's the Grand Slam. Woo! Sam Walker. samwalkerobxnews.com. I want to thank Greg Smerdell for coming in last week from the Mania Walking Tour. He just put out a new book too, something about Blackbeard. I can't remember what it is right now. I don't have it pulled up on my screen in front of me, but he's got books. He's an author. He does these walking tours. He does trivia nights. He does stand-up comedy. Greg is an all-around just jack of all trades and a master of all of those things as well. You know, you hear people say jack of all trades, master of none. Now, Greg does some good work. He's a good guy. I host a couple of his trivia nights for him. He got me lined up to do some of that stuff. Very thankful for him. So if you get an opportunity to do his walking tours, go online, maniawalkingtour.com, get signed up, and he would love to show you around the town, crack some jokes, have a good time, and be educational and informative all at the same time. Wonderful, wonderful. So you get an opportunity, please do that. I appreciate him being on the latest episode of the podcast. Captain Marty, getting ramped up for 2025. It's Captain Marty season for me here at Outer Banks this week. We just did his latest installment of his Other Side of Fish and came out this past Saturday. If you haven't had a chance to listen to it, go listen to it on his channel. He would love to hear some feedback from you on that. You can email me the feedback for right now. We're working on getting his phone number, his message line, and all the stuff set up. But like, you can email me, Justin at OuterBanksThisWeek.com. If you want to get a message to the captain right now. I'm sure he'd love to hear from you. He'd love to give you a shout out. He'd love to say hello, whatever the case may be. But for right now, you got to funnel that stuff through me, the executive producer of the Captain Marty Other Side of Fishing. Yes. So Justin at OuterBanksThisWeek.com. Oh, we're going to take ourselves a quick break, and then we're going to jump into some shout-outs. But if you are looking for some employment, looking for a job in the HVAC world, Master Heating and Cooling would love to talk to you.
Master Heating and Cooling, your Lennox dealer of the Outer Banks, is now hiring. Qualified service technicians and experienced installers are needed. We are an OBX family-owned and operated full-service HVAC company with 35 years experience supporting our community with their heating and cooling needs. Join our team of professionals and earn competitive pay, benefits package, and performance-based bonuses. Call today 252-255-0095 or please visit us online at masterhvac.net/contact us.
Yeah, get up with my brother-in-law, Mike, masterhvac.net, where you can find more information on how you can join their team. All right, shout-outs. I don't really have any shout-outs this week. This is like the first week in a while that I haven't had a shout-out. I'm really trying to think of. I can give two shout-outs, actually, now that I think about it. The first one I want to give is to a gentleman named Landon Sawyer. He plays baseball at Manteo High School. He and his brothers, Tanner and Trevor, three great role models in the community here on the Outer Banks. I can't say enough great things about those young men, okay? They play baseball at Manteo High School, but my oldest, Austin, he thinks the world of all of them, but he loves Landon pretty good. And he took a baseball over to Landon at the baseball game the other day and asked him for his autograph. And Landon happily obliged and signed the baseball for him. I mean, it made Austin's entire day. He was so happy to get that autograph. I got to get a case for it. Is the baseball and everything like that. And I mean, it was just, it was very heartwarming. And I mean, from a parent's point of view, for a young man like Landon to be the role model of my 10-year-old son, like I could cry thinking about it. I'm not even going to lie. First class gentleman right there. And I mean, they're in church on Sundays, and I mean, just wonderful, wonderful young men. Each one of those boys. Landon's the oldest. Well, Parker's the oldest. He's the oldest of the brothers, but then you got Landon, Tanner, and Trevor. And I mean, they're wonderful, wonderful young men and great role models for our community. So I want to shout out to them real quick. Then I want to shout out to another gentleman, a Wanchi there. And these are Wanchi's boys too, which makes it even more personal for me. You know that. I want to shout out to a gentleman named Harley Scarborough. So I was riding around Wanchi's the other day. I was hauling off trash, to tell you the truth. And I come around the corner and I see Harley on a golf cart, and I see a state trooper, and I see a Dare County sheriff. And I'm like, what did Harley do now? So I pull up to him. I'm like, hey, man, you good? He's like, yeah, man, I just saved this girl's life. And I was like, what? And like the story that kind of was told, I guess a girl fell off a golf cart, hit her head, something to that effect, started having some convulsions or something. Long story short, Harley saw it, raced over to the girl. Whoever was on the other golf cart, I guess they took off. Anyway, he raced over there, rolled her on her side, called 911, and stayed with her and did whatever the 911 operator said until the ambulance arrived. And all I could think was like, man, Harley, that's awesome, dude. Like, it's just these are gentlemen in our community that are doing extraordinary things. And I mean, that just made me so proud. I was like, Harley, that's awesome. I called his mother and I was like, Harley, listen to what Harley did. I mean, his name's Harley. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, Harleys are awesome. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. Like, I want to give him a shout out. Harley Scarborough, and I believe Landon Davenport was with him as well. So anyway, great gentlemen in our community, so they deserve a shout out today. All right, I'm going to take another break, and when we come back, we're going to talk to MJ Williams from Stripers Bar and Grill in Manteo. She'll be in here in just a few moments. But first, hey, you're looking for property management or you're looking for a new home, don't get frustrated. Get Doug.
This is Doug Brindley. If you're a vacation homeowner and aren't getting what you need from your current vacation rental management company, don't get frustrated. Get Doug. As the owner of Brindley Beach Vacations and Sales, I can fix anything. Definitely an advantage over the other companies. Get in touch with me, Doug Brindley, today and find out how Brindley Beach Vacations and Sales can help manage your rental investment. With locations in Corolla, Duck, Kitty Hawk, and Hatteras Island, and online at brindleybeach.com. Service first for always with Brindley Beach Vacations and Sales.
All right, as promised, I have the lovely, the wonderful, the beautiful, the elegant, super awesome MJ Williams in here with me from Stripers Bar and Grill. Woo! MJ, how are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Dude, you know what? If I was any better, my name would be Trent Jones.
Yeah.
I'm
not sure about that.
I'm just saying. I mean, the dude looks, every time I see him, he's looking good. He's feeling good. He's smiling. He's happy. I mean, I'm just saying, he's the man.
He's got it made, doesn't he?
He's got it made. He sure does. So y'all probably recognize MJ's voice. She's been on the show with me a couple of times, and she's back again to talk about the 11th annual Stripers Chili Cookoff?
Yes.
All right, let's jam. When is it? It's coming up soon. It's right around the corner.
It is. It's Sunday, March 9th, from 12 to 4. We will do the same thing as last year. We're going to have all 3 floors open. As of right now, we have 24 different types of chili. We have 21 entrants this year, so it's going to be exciting.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Now, you don't do a chili yourself, do you? No.
Well, no, Stripers does a chili.
Stripers does a chili.
We do 2 different ones.
Because I remember last year you were the one that was kind of the go-between, running around, doing a lot of the moving and shaking, trying to get everybody straight. And I know that I'll say that my son Austin is excited. He's coming back with me because he wants to hang out with Braxton and help Braxton do whatever Braxton does.
They do. They're a big help. They get to run chili and give awards out and all kinds of stuff. They're cute. It's definitely.
So you've said you've got 24 entrants with 21 entrants with 24 chilies. How did I say that backwards?
Yes. No, you got it right.
Okay,
yeah.
Give me your chili categories.
So we have beef, other meat, and vegetarian.
Okay, beef, other meat, and vegetarian. Now, beef is obviously beef. Now, other meat would be like pork, venison. I think last year, wasn't there like a bear chili?
I have a bear again this year.
Do you have a bear again this year?
I do, yes.
Okay.
We had an alligator last year.
All right.
And this year we have ostrich is kind of our most exotic that someone's doing.
Ostrich?
Ostrich chili.
An ostrich chili?
Yes.
How do you go about, I mean, that'll be interesting.
That'll will
definitely be interesting. So you do this on all the floors, all 3 floors of Stripers. They're set up all over the place. Is that correct?
Correct, yes.
Now, somebody that wanted to come, you said it starts at noon and goes until 4.
Correct.
Somebody that wanted to come and get a ticket to go to each one and sample them and put their and vote. How do they do that? How much is that?
So to come in, we do check in on the 3rd floor. It just kind of works better, spaces everything out. It's $20 for 14 and over. 14 to 6 is $10, and under 6 is free. It all goes to charity. We ask that you bring cash, so that way it just makes things easier.
Yes.
But we support the Dare County Shrine Club for the Shriners Hospital.
Very
is
cool.
where we give the money to. So
very cool. And I mean, it seems like this thing gets bigger and bigger every year.
It does.
And I mean, it's an amazing thing. So we've got all these different chili categories. 11 years of doing this, and it's, again, like I said, it seems like it's just gotten bigger and bigger every year. Vegetarian chili. How many typical entrants do you have for like the vegetarian category?
So this year we actually have 5. We had Jackie Hall won last year, the vegetarian, and it was phenomenal. And I think it made other people want to step it up and try it. So I had to give her some competition this year. So I kind of had to pull some strings to get other people to come. But we do have 5 entrants this year. That'll be in there, but Jackie is returning with her award-winning one.
The returning champion. Okay, because I will tell you, thinking chili, I don't think vegetarian chili at all. Okay, and I remember as a judge last year, which you're going to let me do it again this year.
Are.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
Amen. I'm looking forward to that so much. I know that last year when I tried it, of course, y'all don't tell us. You just bring it in and you set it down and say, this is number 8 or number 10 or whatever. And I don't recall if you say whether or not it's a meat, other meat, or vegetarian. I don't remember. I think you do kind of lead us into that part, but I was like a vegetarian chili. Like I remember rolling my eyes and being like, all right, if I got to, you know?
Right.
And I took a bite of it and it was absolutely divine.
Yes, very much so.
I'm bad about judging the book by its cover in the world of food and all the time. And it's like, I'm like, oh, no, I'm never going to try. I'm never going to eat anything like that. I ate hers and I was like, is there seconds?
Yes.
It was great. So to know that chili's back on the table,
yes.
She better have some stiff competition coming at her because that one was pretty daggum good. All right. So with that being said, MJ, I got a question for you. You said you have a good handful of entrants. You've got some new ones. You've got some returning. Could you run through maybe the all the entrants into the chili cook-off this year, just for my own personal knowledge, so I know what I'm judging, who I'm looking at this year. Could you do that?
Yes, of course. We'll start with our 9 new ones that we have to give a shout out to them. Thankful for them joining us. So we're going to have Stick Burning Barbecue, which is Warren. That has his in Columbia. I'm excited. Yes, excited to have him. Wesley Branch. Miss Jennifer does a lot of our desserts for us at Striper's, so glad to have them joining us. 1587 Restaurant and Lounge. Jennifer Jones, James Robel, Zach Berman, Coastal Cafe and Outer Banks Health Hospital, Across the Board Catering. Who else do I have?
You've already got a good handful. And there's some of the new ones like the Across the Board Catering. I hadn't heard that one before. I don't think that's a new one.
Yes, so he actually is in with Buffalo City Distillery. So we're excited to have them. I got to run into him at the food show on Wednesday, so it was good to see him. So I
did a podcast recording from Buffalo City last summer, and he was there with some of his wings or whatever that he gives out during trivia nights or sells during trivia nights, and he gave me a jar of his jam, and I put him on the podcast. I love his slogan. He's like, I got hot jam that'll make you say hot damn or something like that. Yes. Excuse my language.
Yes.
But it was funny when he said it. I was like, that's a good little catch slogan there. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. And Elliott Midget is our other new one. As far as our returners coming back, we have Blue Water Grille. We have Island Time Photography, which is Chandler Tillett. That's right here in Manio also.
Photographer's making chili.
She is. She does a beef chili. This year, she's actually doing a other meat chili. So I'm excited to see what she comes up with. Neil Combs and Tim Hennett, they are both members of the Shrine Club. So it's awesome to have them supporting an event that tributes to them also. Mr. John Powers, he does 2 different chilies for us. And then we have Fred and Terry and Sean Westcott along with Alligator River Marina will be there.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Very cool. Very cool. So you said all the money goes back to the Shriners and the Shriners Hospital and everything like that. And I tell you what, watching how much they put into like the children's hospitals and things like that is a beautiful thing. So knowing that money that's being raised for this event is going in that direction is absolutely phenomenal.
It is. It's actually a charity that hits close to home. My nephew has very much benefited from them. So it's been amazing to be able to give back in that sense also. But we're hoping that Trip will be able to be here this year so that everyone can meet him and actually see what you are supporting, that it's not just, a commercial that you see on television, that it's actually real children that we are so thankful for. So last year we were able to donate almost $3,800. So we're hoping this year that we can definitely top that.
Yeah, that would be, that is so cool.
Yes, we've got a few new things this year. We're doing a raffle every 30 minutes. So when you come in, you get your ticket. We'll call every 30 minutes, someone will win a prize. Our vendors have donated that, whether it's a Coastal Beverage, City Beverage, Empire. We've had a couple restaurants give gift certificates, so that'll be something new and exciting. And then our 50-50 raffle is where we raise quite a bit of money also for them. And last year, I forgot who won, but they donated back the money to go right back to the Shriners Hospital. So it was awesome to see that.
That's pretty cool. And,
yes.
and I mean, that's kind of, in a lot of ways when it comes to different benefits like that, like that's kind of the etiquette, if you bought a ticket and you won, you'd give it back,
yes.
That
right.
sort of thing. If you walk away with it, people
yes.
are like, look at this greedy. So,
right.
I'm not trying to put pressure on anybody that might show up and buy a ticket. But I mean, at the same time, like, just consider, please.
Right. Yes. And that is why we do ask that you bring cash, that it does go, so that way it's just easy for us to turn it over to them and easy to track also for us. So
Right on. The chili cook-off coming up on, you said that was March the 9th from 12 to 4 at Striper's. Let's, if you don't mind, did we forget anything about the chili cook-off? Did we leave anything out?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. I was going to try to move on. I was going to talk to you about something else, but no, please, let's go.
So the last thing that we kind of feel is important, and I didn't describe it well last year, so I want to make sure I did this year, is our People's Choice.
Okay.
So that is kind of why we ask that you come out even more so than just for the charity cause of it. But it's really awesome. When you come in, you get a gift bag, and in there is a token. It's a Striper's coin. Once you've been through, you've taken your notes, you've tried all of your chilies, you go back to your favorite chili and you put your chip in there. So it's also awesome to see what the outside people think versus what the judges think. Last year, it was completely opposite. We, who won People's Choice, and we tally up everyone's versus the Georgia judges' scorecards was pretty crazy to see the difference. So something that I did new this year also is I have an overall category winner. So what will happen is once I total you guys' scorecards, and then I take the chip totals, I'm going to add them together, and then we will have a grand overall winner. So
that's
that
cool.
is something new and exciting. So someone potentially could win 2 categories for us this year. So
that's awesome. That is,
yes.
I like that. I didn't realize it was kind of different from the judges to the people last year. That's interesting. That's definitely interesting. I don't remember who I picked for each category, but I'll tell you again, the one that jumped off the page to me was Jackie's. The vegetarian.
Yes.
Like, I remember that one. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think after I was done judging, I went out and I was like, hey, I need to try yours one more time. Thank you.
Yes. So last year, our People's Choice winner was Jackie Smith with her husband, Hunter, and Sean Westcott. They did the alligator chili.
Okay.
And so that was the one that won last year. And it was, delicious to the other people. So it was good to see. It's just fun to see also. And it allows you to come out and support people that are entered in that you want to come and support also. So
and they're back in it.
They are.
That's what I thought. I saw their name. I was reading the list the other day.
Yes, they are.
So, all right. Glad to hear all these great and exciting things, especially with the chili cook-off that's going on at Stripers. I want to talk a little bit about Stripers real quick itself. I have 2 items here in front of me that I'm saving for very last because I think they're super awesome, okay?
Yes.
But talk to me a little bit about Stripers this year, 2025. We got the season is, right around the corner. You, young lady, have been working your butt off. Let me tell you something. And let me ask you a question. Have you ever tried to call you?
No.
Have you ever tried to text you?
No.
Okay. I will sometimes be texting him. I'm like, let me run this by MJ. I'll text MJ something, and I might get a text back a week later with an answer.
I do read it. It's just I don't respond.
I don't take it personally because I know how busy you are. Let me give you a quick shout out if you don't mind.
Yes.
Not long ago, I was in there with my wife and one of her friends sitting at the bar eating lunch, and there was a person in there that had a medical emergency. Without going into too much detail, MJ jumped to the rescue and was, focused, calm, cool, collected, noticed that there were other guests in that specific part of the restaurant, moved them over to some different tables, kind of blocked off the area so that when EMSs rolled in, it wasn't like they were choking or anything or had an allergic reaction. It was nothing like that. It was a situation that was just beyond anybody's control. Right. And MJ helped get everything. So she had grabbed the defibrillator because, it seemed as if there might be something going on with the heart. And then when the EMTs rolled up, she made sure there was a clear path. Everything was good. And the thing is if you were frazzled or frantic or shook, you never knew it. Because I was watching you the whole time. Every time you would come from one spot to the next, moving around, you were just focused on making sure that guest was okay and that all the other guests were, put somewhere else so that way that things could be managed perfectly. And you did a fantastic. I even wanted to give you, say hey to you before I left to say that was awesome the way you did that. But you were back to work. You had to go from there back to behind the line cooking.
I did, yes.
Because your boys were out front. I'm like, yo, go get MJ real quick. I want to give her a hug. And they were like, hey, she's back behind the line. I'm like, I'll catch up with her later. You know what I mean? But I did. I texted you later that I wanted to make sure that you knew that. And I want to give you the due diligence right now that this young lady works her butt off and she is in that restaurant getting after it every stinking day. I'll go in there and I'll be sitting there and she'll walk by me. I'll be like, hey, MJ. And she don't even hear me. And I don't take it personally because I know
right.
you're focused. You're in work mode. So if you heard me, great. If not, oh well, I'll talk to her later.
Right. Yes. Well, I do. Thank you for coming in. And I promise I was frazzled, but I'm glad my face didn't show it.
Well, I told this same thing to Mr. Charles the other day when I met with him to talk about some stuff. I said, yo, you got a diamond in the rough here now. You better hang on to her. But anyway, with all the energy and the time and the effort that you put into the restaurant, what are some cool things coming up this year that you can think of that might be taking place at Stripers?
So we're still doing our Singo on Wednesday nights. We have trivia that we do on Thursday nights.
Okay.
We also have expanded this year. We're doing brunch on Saturday and Sundays.
Oh.
And then a push that I kind of put my tweak on was I love Nashville. Nashville's like my second home. We go quite often, and I love live music. And everywhere we go in Nashville at brunch, they have live music. So we have added in for brunch on Sundays from like 11:30 to 2:30. We just have one solo person play in where we do live music, and it has been a phenomenal hit. We still have upstairs open for those who don't care, for the music, but it seems to keep people around longer. It seems to bring a good vibe, and it's something that I really believed in, and I wanted to see if it could take off. So
very cool. That is very, very cool. You got now when the summertime hits, now you tend to have entertainment, different times throughout the week. Is that right?
We do. So this year we're actually going to do Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. We will have live music all 3 nights. We also, last year, were able to expand. We have a picnic table area outside where you can bring your pups, your cats, animals, and hang out there with them. Your, full service out there and everything. So we will have a solo artist playing out there. Some like during happy hour also. So that's going to be fun. You get to watch the boats coming in, see the sunset if you choose to stay that late. Happy hours 3 to 6. Enjoy half-price steamers. It's just a good time, relaxed atmosphere out there. And kid-friendly. We have cornhole boards out there, so everyone has something to do. So
very cool, very cool. Stripers is definitely one of a kind, fantastic place. It's all part of the Shallabag Bay Club. I don't know if I mentioned that at all, right there in Manteo. So it's kind of... There's a little bitty road just to describe. If you've never been to Stripers, you're trying to figure out how to get to Stripers. If you are coming into Manteo, let's say from the south heading north, just past Daryl's Restaurant and just before the McDonald's, there's a road. If you'll miss it if you're not looking. Sometimes there's a road that will take you back towards the Shallabag Bay Club and back towards where Stripers Restaurant is, so just to give you an idea of where this road is and how to get there. Okay, when you came in here today, you had 2 bottles in your hand.
So excited. Fresh off the press.
One of them is a Bloody Mary mix, Stripers Southern Style Bloody Mary mix, and the other one is Stripers Signature Hot Sauce. Holy smokes. Now, okay, I'm just going to tell you the truth. Not much of a Bloody Mary guy. I know people that are, so I can make good use of this. Yes. I love hot sauce. So if you don't mind, while you're maybe describing the hot sauce first, I'm going to maybe put a little dab on my finger and try it.
Yes, I would love that feedback, of course.
Okay.
So this is the first of 2 that we're launching. We've worked with Ashburn in Virginia Beach to put together recipes for them. So we're excited. This one is bold spices, flavors, has peppers in it that they've prepared especially for us. So we have this one as our signature one, and then we are having a mango habanero is my next release. That will be of it. And we are expecting that one in about 3 weeks. So.
Mango habanero.
Yes.
Ooh, that sounds really good. All right. Let me, let me take in maybe, I wish I had like something. Nah, it's all right. I'll just do a little dab on my finger real quick. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, wow. That's really good. Oh, wow. See, I like a hot sauce. This is good. This is really good. And here's why I say that. I like a hot sauce that has like moderate heat. Like I'm not trying. I mean, the mango habanero sounds really tasty, and a habanero pepper, it's pretty spicy. So like when it comes to that, like I know what to expect.
Right.
A little higher heat when you label it that way. This right here, I've had hot sauces that are labeled hot sauce, and they're like, all right, this is stupid.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
like,
it's not edible, not enjoyable.
Like, this right here has got the perfect flavor combination along with the heat all together in one. And it has 0 calories, 0 trans fats, 0 cholesterol. Look, this is healthy.
Yes, very.
Healthy hot sauce by Stripers.
It is.
I think most hot sauces don't have any calories. But hey, I just thought I'd point that out.
Yes, you can see the peppers if you're able to. You can see the ground peppers and spices. So
you definitely can.
Yes.
So this is now talk to me now a little bit about your Bloody Mary mix here. What's this?
So this one is The Southern style. So this one is going to be a bacon-infused Bloody Mary mix. So I don't know if you've noticed, but we carry throughout the week. We really promote them on the weekends, a loaded Bloody Mary at Striper's. So it comes with crab legs, steamed shrimp, bacon, celery, and then olives, the usual toppings with it. But this is actually what we use in that one as the Southern style to, I guess, complement the seafood side of it, because you have the crab legs and the steamed shrimp in it, and you don't want to overpower it and use a Bloody Mary mix that's a seafood base,
right?
Which is our second Bloody Mary mix that we're coming out with. It's going to be a seafood-based Bloody Mary mix. Believe it or not, clam base is really big right now. Bloody Mary bars are, as you know, crazy everywhere. So it's been fun to pair and trying to get these. But this Southern style one is a bacon infused, if you will, mix with it. So
wow,
it's exciting.
Lots of fun stuff. You got. I mean,
Yes.
you're branding now. You're a brand. You're not just Striper's Bar and Grill. You are Striper's the brand.
We are. We're definitely trying to step it up and find different ways. And what's better to take a gift home to someone than, as a sample, or also just to enjoy it. So we do have it at the restaurant where you can try it, and then you can have them for purchase also.
Very cool. Very cool. Now, all this stuff that you got here, it can be found. Now, you can see it. Now, can you buy this online yet, or no? Are we still working on that, or is
It'll
that something
be on our
you can do?
website on Monday morning. It'll launch on there. So you'll be able to purchase it on there, and we can ship it to you.
Oh, very cool.
Yes. So.
Very awesome. Okay, I wasn't sure. I was like, I'm going to ask a question. I haven't,
Yes.
I'm going to make sure that I'm asking the right question here.
Yes.
So, but website, stripersbarandgrill.com.
That's it.
With an E.
It is with an E.
Yes, with an E. So
Yes.
Striper's Bar and Grill, GRILLE.com.
Yes.
And of course, your social media, you maintain it very well. You do. You keep it up to speed every day. I feel like I see your specials. I see different things when it comes to entertainment, whether it be Singo, trivia, whatever the case may be. I mean, follow them on their Facebook page, Instagram, because you will see those things pop up. And I mean, I strongly suggest you do those types of things if you're interested in coming and participating in some of their events and activities. And of course, you've got the event page set up for the Chili Cookoff, and that's all ready to rock and roll. Anything else? Did we forget anything? I wanted to make sure that we went through the Chili Cookoff. We talked about the restaurants and different things going on there, and make sure we hit these two items. I mean, and to make sure that people know that you are thebomb.com, MJ.
Well, thank you.
If you go in and type in thebomb.com, it reroutes you to stripersbarandgrill.com.
It only allows me to be that way because of my staff. I have a great staff that supports me, and I couldn't do it without them, so I'm so thankful.
Any other shout outs that you want to give to anybody today? Just anybody?
I gotta give a shout out to my Hurley girl. I felt like last time I kind of dropped the ball. I wasn't prepared, but she played on the Menio Middle School basketball team this year. And Coach Hart, we love her so much, and Coach Creef and Jackie actually assisted this year. The three best top-notch coaches took this group of girls that I kind of giggled and didn't think they would win many ball games at all, and they won the Menio Middle School basketball conference championship. So that was phenomenal. They beat the undefeated River Roads, and just to watch Hurley, tears of joy, just proud. We picked on her, Layden and I. When we dropped her off, we're like, we're going to laugh at you dribbling down the court. And then here she goes scoring double digits every game. And we're like, what? But I do want to give a shout out to her and to the coaches and to the rest of the team also. Just so proud of all of them.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they did. I live vicariously through your social media posts when it videos, anything like that. And I believe that she and Hurley and Doxy had a nickname. They're
the Twin Towers.
The Twin Towers.
Yes. Heather actually nicknamed that in 6th grade, and they have carried it all the way through. And those two girls are going to do great things for Menio High School next year. And, right now they both just made the softball team, so we're gearing up for that. But I can't wait to see what the future holds for those two.
Excellent. And I got a shout out to my man B. Yes. Love me some Braxton. Braxton, you may remember, he was on a podcast with me. I want to say at the beginning of summer last year. Yes. I had him and my son and a couple of their buddies come in and talk about summertime activities that they like to participate in and do for the kids. So Braxton, he's my guy. I love that guy. So he did a great job at the Wax Museum.
I was going to say, him and Justin, they were cute last night to watch. Very proud of them. Watch them come out of their comfort zone to see those boys And it was funny. Both of them had their arms crossed. I was like, typical stance for those boys up there.
My goodness.
Yes.
Well, anyway, MJ, I appreciate you coming in and giving me some time today. I know you are very busy. You've got a lot going on. And to give me a few moments of your time today, I feel honored. I'm blessed to be in the presence of MJ today.
It was a lot of fun. Thank you, as always.
Thank you. It's time to get rigged up to go fishing, and at Rigged Up Sport Fishing Charters out of the Oregon Inlet Fishing Center, that's exactly what they do best. This 55-foot Omi Tillet built boat with that Carolina flair, known for tournament wins, is fully equipped with the latest sonar technology, along with two of the most knowledgeable captain-mate combos in the fleet that practically know what the fish are thinking. Hop aboard with them today by going online at riggedupcharters.com. Rigged Up Sport Fishing Charters. Let's go fishing. Yeah, Rigged Up Sport Fishing would love to get you rigged up to go fishing. All right, let's take a look here. MJ, dude, I'll tell you what a fantastic person. MJ works so incredibly hard at that restaurant. I mean, she is one of the hardest working women I've ever seen. I think they did a country song about that. I can't remember what it's called right now. But anyway, all right, let's take a look at some events, things that are going on up and down the beach. And all these events that I'm going to talk about and more can be found online at outerbanksthisweek.com. If you click on the events tab, you'll see everything in its entirety, and you can scroll through it all and look at it. So let's get started. I always like to start off. Please support your local high school and middle school athletics. We got baseball, softball, tennis, track, girls soccer. I mean, just check out, and I'm not just talking about here on the Outer Banks. I mean, definitely support them here on the Outer Banks, but I mean, wherever you are listening from, go out there and show those athletes some love and support. All right, let's see here. Looking at this coming weekend, the weekend of the 7th, 8th, and 9th. Again, this coming Sunday is the 11th annual Stripers Chili Cookoff, but there's also, what is this? McGrath's Burger Shack is having a cookie cook-off, competing to make the dish of incorporating a cookie. Two categories are sweet and savory. You want to be in there, you can be a part of it, but it's going on this Sunday as well, starting at 1 o'clock, and that's McGrath's Cookie Cook-Off. Let's see here. Scrolling on down a little bit, we got open mic night at McGrath's, bingo night at Whalehead Brewery on Monday, March 10th. Keep going down a little bit. A lot of things going on with the Town of Duck and Children and Youth Partnership. They've got some different things going on. Trivia at Buffalo City Distillery starting at 6 o'clock on Wednesday evenings. I'm actually at McGrath's Burger Shack on Wednesdays starting at 6 o'clock to do trivia. So that's always a good time. If you come hang out with me, you're guaranteed to have a good time. Let us not forget about my man, excuse me, Troy Tugwell, or Troyvia. I call him YP, all right? He's always been YP to me. I know his name, but I need to get over to Lost Colony Tavern and do Troyvia one night, all right? He has been to my trivia nights, both at McGrath's and at Wanchese Marina, and we just have trivia nights on the same night, and it makes it difficult. But you know what? One of these nights, Troy, I'm coming to you, brother. I mean, that dude, I've said this before, he's Mr. Congeniality. He's always pouring back into the local events and things that are going on around here. So you'll see him all over the place, especially around Manio. He's a Manio City. I mean, he just wanted him. You know what I mean? He's a fantastic dude. So, Troy, you keep being awesome, brother. But, yeah, so lots of things going on Wednesday nights. Shipwrecks has got some live music going on Thursday, March 13th, as does trivia night going on at the brewing station. There's trivia and live music going on all over the place. Okay, here's something coming up that we're going to talk about next week on the podcast. We got Shamrocks and Shenanigans. It looks like it's a whole weekend thing over at McGrath's Burger Shack. But again, they're going to be on the podcast next week to talk about that. Also, the Running of the Leprechauns, Outer Banks Sporting Events, got Running of the Leprechauns starting Saturday, March 15th at 8 o'clock in the morning. Are they starting? Where are they starting? They're going to be starting at the Nags Head Soccer Complex, which is at 227 West Satterfield Landing. I believe that's over behind... Is it over there behind the bowling alley? I can't remember exactly where that is, but if you West Satterfield Landing, so that's the 5K and 10K, the Running of the Leprechauns, and that's going to be happening on Saturday, March 15th, starting at 8 o'clock in the morning. Oh, Shamrocks and Shenanigans, more things going on Sunday. I see. Sunday, I also believe, is the day of the St. Patrick's Day Parade, which I did have Mike Kelly on last year to talk about that. So there's something that's going to be going on Sunday, March 16th. Lots of things. Again, the Arts Council, Town of Duck, McGrath's, they're flooded. McGrath's got so much stuff going on. Goodness, the month of March is not going to be shy of events. That's for daggum sure. Shipwrecks, New Vines. Again, all these different events that I'm talking about, live music and trivia nights and different activities can be found right here at OuterBanksThisWeek.com. Click on the events tab, and you can go and scroll down and look through all of them. I mean, there's something. I hate to say this. I hate this term so much, but there's something for everyone. It's such an overused term, and people use it in all sorts of audio commercials that I hear around. It's like, and more, and something for everyone, and more. All right, I'm done. Sorry. That was, again, you can find all of these events and more at OuterBanksThisWeek.com. All right, let's wrap this thing up. Oh, gosh. Did I forget anything? I probably did. I'm good at that. If I did, let me know. Podcast at OuterBanksThisWeek.com. Let me know. Email me and tell me, so that way it doesn't happen again. I do want to thank MJ for being on the podcast. And again, she works day in, day out. I mean, it's like I asked her, have you ever tried calling you? Have you ever tried texting you? And it's not because she doesn't purposely ignore you. It's just, I don't think anything of it anymore. I'll text her, and if I get something back, great. If I don't, I'll end up talking to her at some point. You know, I don't take it personally. I've said hello to her, like I told you. I said hello to her in the restaurant before when I've been at Stripers, and she's like so in work mode. She like walks right on by me, and I'm like, okay, you know, like doesn't hurt my feelings. I just know that she's focused, she's busy. And she does a fantastic job at Stripers. If you haven't been to Stripers Bar and Grill in Manio, you need to go over there and check it out. It's a fantastic place to grab a bite, to hang out, enjoy the views, and just hang around the Shallowback Bay Club. Wonderful spots. I appreciate her coming in. Hey, next week we're going to have Chris and Ashley McGrath on the podcast to promote their St. Patrick's Day shenanigans coming up here in a couple of weeks. So, yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. I always enjoy talking to Chris and Ashley. Wonderful folks, and they're constantly trying to pour back into the community as well. So we're going to have them on to talk about their, Shamrocks? Let me make sure I say this correctly. Where is it? Shamrocks and Shenanigans. There we go. So we'll have them on to talk about that next week. Other than that, though, hey, this is going to do it for this episode of the Outer Banks This Week podcast. All brought to you by Kelly's Automotive online at kellysobxauto.com and powered by Outer Banks Pest Control online at outerbanks-pestcontrol.com. They would love to sell you a car, and then they would love to destroy any varmints that are messing around your home, office, workplace, whatever you got, wherever they're needed. They will be there. All right, I'm out of here. Have yourself a great and wonderful rest of the week, and I'll see y'all again next week. Good Lord willing. And the creek don't rise with this crazy March weather. Y'all take care now. Bye-bye.
This has been another radical edition of the Outer Banks This Week podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe, follow us on social media, and listen every Thursday for a new episode.